Can you kindly tell us what do you know about African music and which African artists do you like and admire?
African music. That's very deep because I know the different genres of African music. But what I love to listen to is generally, I think it's the contemporary African music basically, and it's all about the beats and how it moves you. You know, because basically African music, it's about it describes the lifestyle of the African person, which is always a very happy lifestyle, no matter the condition. And that's the kind of music I think I love listening to. One that, not that is boisterous, not that it's noisy, but very vivacious, so to speak. And I listen to people like I'm Nigerian, so obviously I have a preference for Nigerian artists. But I listen to great guys like Two Face, is known everywhere. I listen to the band. I listen to P Square. Then the young artists these days, I listen to Davido, I listen to Wizkid and Olamide. A couple of them, so many of them, I can't list them all.
Now, if you were given an opportunity to have any of those artists play in concert, who would you prefer and where would you like to see them play?
Interestingly, if they're going to be playing outside the African continent, I would love someone like Lagbaja to play in London, just to showcase some of the real traditional African stuff mixed with Western, beats and stuff. I would also love to see probably Wizkid and Olamide perform in Manchester. That would be great. And finally, Davido has been in concert in the States, but it would be great to have him back in Atlanta. He was once in Atlanta and it was awesome. Yeah.
Now, do you see African music having
Yeah,
great
but sorry, I'm sorry about that. There's a new kid on the block, Fuse ODG. I'm not too sure of his nationality. I think he's Ghanaian, but he's off the hook. So I would love him to actually be in London. I think that should be my first choice, better than bad. Yeah.
Do you see African music having an impact on world music or any genre of music? And what is the future?
The future of African music is very bright, very bright. You see, that's why I love the collaboration taking place between African musicians and Western musicians, because it's actually bringing Africa to the forefront. You go to a lot of bars and pubs in London, even if you go to Westfield. I mean, I've been to Westfield in Shepherd's Bush twice, and you hear African music, not just Nigerian music, but African music blaring off the loudspeakers. I was at Nando's the other day, and the same thing. The future of African music is very bright in that, African music, especially contemporary African music, is very vivacious, very lively, and that's why everybody wants to listen to us, even when people don't understand what we're saying. But the beats are awesome, and the future is very promising. That I'm very sure of. Is a new industry, but is growing gradually, just like Hollywood started. In a couple of years, 10 years down, I'm sure it's all going to be about African music.
My favorite African musician is Oliver Mtukudzi because he sings about social change in a very interesting way. I would like to see him. I can see him as many times as I want. Yeah. He's very good.
Now, you talked about Oliver Mtukudzi, and we know that Oliver Mtukudzi has adopted the Mbira very well. What about others who have come after him, and what is his influence on Southern African music?
I think he's a role model. He's a UNESCO ambassador as well. What he does, he collaborates with others quite a lot, and he shares his skills. He has set up Kare Kare Rapo, which is an institution to train young ones. So he's a good role model, I agree. And he's sharing his traditional music skills with other new upcoming musicians. Yeah.
Now, talking about his influence and his collaboration, African music is unique. What is it that you like about African music? Any particular
What I like about African music is the way it can communicate without being obvious. So the audiences can read so many messages from it. So there is something special about African music. They don't just sing. You sing because you are carrying messages on behalf of everyone else. And I think this is the special quality of African music.
And do you see African music being received well in Europe? What's its future?
Well, I think it's doing well. Like now, Nigerian music is very much, central here. And I think this is the time for African music. With social media, African music is going to be heard by more people. Yes, and it will continue to do well. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, friends, this is for GotRhythm Africa. Bedu Muziki. One love.